Good morning, children. Today we are going to learn a new lesson. The name of the lesson is Safe Habits. We often hear of many accidents on the roads, at home, at workplaces, or in playgrounds. So, we should follow so many safety habits at home, school, on the road, and in the playground to protect ourselves from accidents. So, it is very important to follow these safety habits. First, we will learn safety rules at home. We should follow certain rules at home to be safe. Let's check what are those. We use many electrical gadgets at home such as the radio, television and grinder mixer. We may get an electric shock if we do not use these gadgets properly. So we should use these electric gadgets properly. What is electric gadgets? Yes, the equipments work by using electricity. So you should not touch electric gadgets such as iron box, television, radio, etc. Then next point, we must never play or fiddle with electric plugs, sockets or electric wires. So we must not play with electric plugs, sockets or electric wires. It is very dangerous. We must never touch electric gadgets or switches with wet hand. Can you see in this picture? A person is trying to touch a switch with a wet hand. Can you see? This is a wet hand. So it is very dangerous to touch the sockets, plugs and switches with a wet hand. If we do this, we may get an electric shock. Now let's check what are the safe habits we have to follow when we play at home. First one, we must never play with matchsticks, fire and sharp or pointed objects. Can you see this room? There are lots of toys and bags are laying on the floor. And if we walk through this room and if we run through this room, we will fall over them and we get hurt. Next one, we must never fly kites on the rooftops or on the terraces. So, if we fly a kite on the rooftop or terrace, we may fall from there. So, you must not do that in your house. Now, let's see safety rules at school. First one, we should not jump on desks or benches. If we jump on desks and benches, we may fall from there. So please don't do that. Next one, we should not use a blade or knife to sharpen our pencils. We can use a pencil sharpener instead. Next one, we must not run along a corridor or in stairs. If we run along the corridor, we may collide with each other and we may fall. And we must always keep to the left while walking in a corridor. This will help us not to collide with each other. Next, we will learn what are the safety rules in the playground. To protect ourselves from injuries while playing, we must follow some rules. There should have some rules for every game, isn't it? We should follow all these rules to avoid fights and disputes. I know you often fight with your friends. while you're playing in the ground, isn't it? So everyone should follow the rules of every game to avoid fights and disputes. We should never play near thorny hedges, barbed wires, or open wells. So we should never play near thorny hedges and barbed wires and open wells and on the roads. It is very dangerous. And the last one, we must take turns when playing on slides and seesaws. We must always sit and swing. Next, we will check what are the safety rules on the road. So first one, we must always cross the road at a zebra crossing. Can you see this? This is zebra crossing. It is a path to the people to cross the road. So we should always use this zebra cross to cross the road. Next, we must follow traffic lights carefully. Can you see these traffic lights? So we should follow these traffic lights carefully. We should cross the road only when the pedestrian lines turns green and the traffic lights for vehicles turns red. So when should we cross the road? While the pedestrian light turns green. Can you see this pedestrian light? This is green. So these people can cross the road. Next, while cycling, we must keep to the left of the road. Next, we must never disturb the driver of a vehicle. We must never disturb the driver of a vehicle. If we disturb the driver, it will lead to accidents. Last one, we must never put our head, arms or hands out of the window of a moving vehicle. So we should not put our hands, arms and head out of the window of a moving vehicle. Even if we follow all these rules, there may be occur some accidents. So what should we do at that time? We must inform adults and consult a doctor if there is an accident. Before that, we should give first aid to that person. Do you know what is first aid? Yes, first aid is the basic medical help given to the injured person. And while providing first aid to someone, we must take care of the following. What is that? We must be calm and not nervous. And we must ask people not to crowd around the injured person. It will cause a lot of inconvenience to the injured person. And next, if we notice bleeding, we must press the wound and tie a clean handkerchief or bandage tightly over it. And you should take care one more thing for your safety. You should not talk to strangers. If you do not feel comfortable talking to anyone, whether a stranger or a known person, talk about it to your parents immediately. They will be able to help you. So, if you feel any uncomfortable with anyone, you want to talk to your parents about that. Okay, and don't accept anything from who do not know you. If someone gave you something, please do not accept that without the permission of your parents. So these are the safety habits that you have to be follow to be safe in your home. So this is all for today. We will see again in the next class. Thank you, children.